Hi, I'm King David. Before I became king, I had lots of other jobs, like being a soldier. One of my favorite jobs was being a shepherd. I took good care of my sheep and loved and protected them. Hey, that gives me an idea. God is like a good shepherd who loves and takes care of us. I wrote a lot about God's love. You can read some of it in Psalm 23 in the Bible. Just like a good shepherd, God gives us all that we need. He lets us rest in green meadows. He leads us beside peaceful streams. God renews our strength. He guides us along right paths and helps us make good decisions. But sometimes we walk through dark valleys, like when King Saul was chasing me. But God was with me, and God is with you. You don't have to be afraid. Like a shepherd, God protects and comforts you. God prepares a feast for you in the presence of your enemies. He anoints your head with oil. Your cup overflows with blessings. God's goodness and love will follow you all the days of your life. And you can live in the house of the Lord forever. One thing I've learned as king is that God's love helps us stand strong.
In the Bible, you can read about a young woman named Esther. In fact, there's a whole book in the Bible named for Esther. Esther played a really important part in a really scary situation. Go girls! So, here's what happened. First, the king decided he needed a new queen. So he rounded up all the beautiful young women in the kingdom, and Esther was one of them. The women spent a year in the palace getting beauty treatments and training. And every day, Esther's older cousin, Mordecai, stopped by to see how she was doing.
Hi, Esther. How you doing?
Mordecai told Esther not to mention that she was a Jew.
Shh!
And since family and friends help us stand strong, Esther listened to Mordecai. After a year, the king chose a new queen, and it was Esther. Meanwhile, Mordecai had discovered a shocking plot to kill all the Jews. He told Esther to go to the king and beg for her people. But if she did that, the king could kill her.
What? Oh no!
Could Esther stand strong? Esther knew that family and friends help us stand strong. So she listened to Mordecai. Esther asked all the Jews in the kingdom to fast and pray to help her stand strong. And then she went to see the king, even though she was scared. And guess what? The king didn't kill her. He listened to her. And he stopped the plot to kill the Jews. Mordecai was Esther's family, and he helped her stand strong. Esther was a friend to the Jews, and she helped them stand strong. You can help your family and friends stand strong too. And they can help you stand strong.
You can read this true story in the Bible when you get home. It's in the book of Nehemiah, chapters 1 through 6. Nehemiah was a Jew who had been sent away from his homeland in Judah. He was working as a cupbearer for a king. That meant he had to sample the king's drinks to make sure they weren't poisoned. One day, Nehemiah ran into some old friends from Judah.
Hey, good to see you. Hi.
What's up, man? Look good.
He asked how things were going back there. The friends said things were terrible. The wall of Jerusalem had been torn down and the gates burned. Nehemiah was so upset at the news, he sat right down and cried. But then, Nehemiah did something that works way better than crying. He prayed to God. He asked God to help the king be kind because Nehemiah was about to ask for a big favor. When the king saw how upset Nehemiah was, he agreed to help him get back to Jerusalem. Hooray! When he got to Jerusalem, Nehemiah took a few friends and inspected the wall by night. Then he gathered the Jewish leaders and said, "Let's rebuild the wall of Jerusalem and end this disgrace." They replied right away, "Yes, let's get going and rebuild the wall."
All right, woohoo! Yeah, let's rebuild the wall. Let's do it. Right on.
So all the Jewish families started to work on the wall. Bullies made fun of the work and even mocked the workers.
Hey, what are you guys doing?
Oh, you can't do that. No way. No way you're better.
But Nehemiah did what he always did. He prayed to God. His friends prayed too. And an incredible thing happened. Nehemiah and his friends finished rebuilding that wall in just 52 days.
We did it!
Woo! Way to go! No matter what big job you're facing, remember, prayer helps us stand strong.
Just a week before today's Bible story happened, crowds of people had lined the streets to welcome Jesus to Jerusalem. They called him their king and shouted, "Hosanna, Hosanna!" Now, just a week later, things had changed. People were mad at Jesus, especially the Jewish rulers. They wanted to get rid of him. Jesus knew what was happening, so he went to a garden to pray. He took a few friends with him and asked them to pray too, but instead they fell asleep. Jesus knew that God had sent him to take the sins of all people onto himself. He prayed hard, asking God if there was any other way. But Jesus trusted God, so he prayed, "Yet I want your will to be done, not mine." Then, just like Jesus knew was going to happen, soldiers came and arrested him.
There he is. Arrest him.
They took Jesus before the Jewish council and then before Pilate, the Roman governor. Pilate was going to release Jesus, but the crowds wanted Jesus killed. The same people who just a week before had shouted, "Hosanna, Hosanna," were now shouting, "Crucify him, crucify him." So Pilate sentenced Jesus to die, even though he had never done anything wrong. They nailed his hands and feet to a wooden cross. Jesus hung on the cross in pain for hours. Then, at noon, darkness blotted out the sun, and Jesus died. Jesus' friends thought it was the end. They were so sad. They took Jesus' body, wrapped it in cloth, and laid it in a tomb. 3 days later, some women went to the tomb to put spices on Jesus' body. The big stone in front of the tomb had been rolled away. Suddenly, 2 angels in dazzling robes appeared. They said, "He isn't here. He is risen from the dead." The women ran to tell their friends that Jesus is alive.
Come see! He is risen! Jesus is alive!
Jesus died to take the punishment for the wrong things we all do. When we believe in Jesus, we can live with him forever in heaven. That's great news! Jesus trusted God, and God helped him stand strong. Trusting God helps us stand strong too.